This is a story of forced feminization of a little brother. If you don't like that and you keep reading, that's on you. Thanks as always to Bobby Doll, Kate, Swedgers, and all the other great authors out there. When I was in junior high, I was a pretty big brat. I loved to annoy everyone, and my older sister, Joy, was usually the victim. I would always wait until my mum left the room, and I'd do something to her, then run away. One Sunday, my sister was sitting at the table doing her homework, and I could see her bra strap under her shirt. After I made sure the coast was clear, I yanked it back and snapped her bra strap really hard. It made a loud noise, and my sister yelped. It was so loud my mum came into the kitchen and asked what happened. Jake snapped my bra strap. Joy cried. My mum lifted the back of her shirt and saw the huge welt on my sister's back. I'm tired of you messing around all the time. My mum yelled. This time, you've taken it too far. Mum pulled me over her knee and swatted my butt. I thought it was over, but when I got up, she grabbed me by the arm and dragged me into my sister's room. Get that shirt off, she said. And I knew she wasn't messing around, so I did what I was told. Mum shuffled around in my sister's drawers for a minute, then said, "Here we go. Put your arms out." I did what I was told until I realised she had one of my sister's bras in her hand. I tried to run out, but Joy met me at the door and pushed me back in. "You think wearing a bra is comfortable? They're bad enough without some little punk making it worse," Mum yelled. With that, she slung the pink bra over my arms and clasped the back. She adjusted the straps until it fit on me just right. There. "Let's see how you like it," Mum spat. I stood there in shock when suddenly I heard a pop and felt a twinge of pain on my back. "Doesn't feel good, does it?" Joy asked with a smile. I started to put my shirt back on when my mum stopped me. "I don't think so. You'll wear that bra the rest of the night, and I want to see it," Mum said. "Joy, feel free to snap the band whenever he walks by you." Joy had a huge smile on her face, and I knew I was going to be paying for being such a jerk earlier. At 9 p.m, Mum told me to get a shower. "How did you like wearing a bra tonight?" she asked. My pride was at stake, so I said it wasn't that bad. "I don't know why you guys complain about them all the time. I barely knew it was there." I lied with a smirk. "I don't know why I couldn't keep my mouth shut when I needed to." "Oh, is that right?" Mum said. "Well, since you don't mind it, I think you should wear it more often. As a matter of fact, when you get home from school this week, I want you to put it on again. We'll see if it's not bad when you have to wear it every day." Sure enough, when I got home Monday, there was a bra on my bed with a note. The note said, "Your father got back home from his trip early. We're going out to dinner. You and Joy are in your own for dinner tonight. Don't even think about not putting that bra on. I'll check you as soon as I get home." Mum, I swallowed my pride and put the white lacy bra on. It took me a while, but I finally figured it out and put my shirt on over the top of it. I played some video games in my room and eventually decided to go to the kitchen and grab something for dinner. I heard Joy talking in the kitchen and thought she was on her phone, but when I entered the room, I saw her friend Kristen was over. They were both laughing about something, but stopped and glared at me when I walked in. "Ugh, here he is now," Joy said. Kristen looked straight at my chest and said, "So, I hear you're wearing a bra now. How do you like it?" she asked as she felt for the strap on one of my shoulders. "Shut up, bitch," I spat back at her. The next thing I knew, I was flat on my back with Kristen's foot on my chest. I tried to get up, but she was too strong. "Bitch? You're calling me a bitch? You look like the little bitch laying on the floor with your bra on. Is that right? Are you a bitch?" she asked mockingly. "No," I shouted as I struggled uselessly to get up. "Oh really?" she sweetly said. "Well, I don't know many boys that would wear his sister's things. If you're not a bitch, you must be a sissy." The more I struggled to get up, the harder she pushed her foot on me. Not only did it hurt, but it was hard to breathe. My face was red, and I was doing all I could but couldn't get her off me. "Tell me you're a little sissy, and I'll let you up," Kristen said, looking down on me. "No, fuck you," I yelled, still struggling. "Well, I guess you'll be here all night then," she responded. As I struggled, Joy grabbed a chair and put the crossbar across my neck. She sat in the chair, and I freaked out as I realised it could choke me. Joy let her weight off the chair, and Kristen said, "All you have to do is admit you're a sissy, and we'll let you go." I knew I didn't have an option, and said, "Fine, I'm a sissy. That wasn't so hard now, was it?" Kristen asked, and finally took her foot off my chest. I sat on the floor panting because I was struggling to get my breath. "No wonder you disrespect women so much," Kristen said. "You're jealous of us." She continued, "You're always mean to your sister and talk to your mum like she's dirt. This explains it all. You're a little sissy and want to be a girl." I didn't argue because I was still catching my breath. All I could do is look at the floor while she made fun of me. "It's ok, sissy. We won't tell anyone. Heck, we'll even help. How long will your parents be gone?" she asked Joy. "At least until 9. Joy answered. That's plenty of time. You're already wearing a bra. Let's get you dressed the rest of the way, she said as she and Joy helped me off the floor. I'm not a sissy, I exclaimed. I just said that so you'd let me up. Well, you're definitely not a boy. I can't believe how easy you were to hold down. Either you can let us dress you like your true self, or we can go back to torturing you all night, Kristen said, smiling. Fine, I'll do it, I said quietly. Do what? Tell us what you want us to do, Kristen said. I sighed and replied, dress me up like a girl. Oh boy, this will be fun. Joy exclaimed as she clapped her hands. I was led into my parents' room and told to strip out of everything but my bra. While I was getting undressed, they went into my mum's giant walk-in closet. I could hear whispering and laughing, but had no idea what they were saying. Finally, the two girls emerged with a black dress on a hanger and a box that looked like it had more clothes in it. These won't work, Kristen said, as she quickly whipped my briefs down. She dumped the contents of the box on the bed and picked up a pair of black panties with white lace all across the butt, leg holes and waistband. The panties felt silky and cool against my skin as they pulled them up my legs. Wow, I thought they'd be too big, but they fit almost perfect, my sister said excitedly. They pulled the dress over my head and started laughing at me right away. It was black, with white lace on the sleeves and neckline. It seemed a lot shorter than what my mum usually wore, and I didn't remember ever seeing this. What's next? Kristen asked, and Joy pulled 2 black stockings from the pile on the bed. Sit down and flex your foot toward us, Joy instructed. Each girl took a stocking, rolled them into a donut, and kneaded them up my legs. Instantly, my legs transformed from a preteen boy's legs to a grown woman's legs. Next, they put what looked like a big white ball of fluff on the floor and had me step into the hole in the middle. They pulled it up under my dress and it made my skirt flare out to make the dress even shorter. Can we be done now? I whined. I don't like this. We still have a few things to add, sighed Joy. Don't worry, sissy. When we're done, you'll be the prettiest girl in school. They eventually added a pearl necklace, pearl bracelet, and put lipstick and mascara on me. Then they took some barrettes and Mum's curling iron and gave me a very feminine hairdo. It wasn't until I saw the last 2 items that I realised what they were dressing me up as. They wrapped a white, lacy apron around my waist and pinned a white, lacy cap to my head. They had dressed me up in my mum's French-made Halloween costume. One more thing, Joy said as she went back into the closet and dropped a pair of high heels in front of me. They were black with white trim and had a 3-inch heel. I knew what I had to do and stepped into them. Each girl grabbed an arm and led me over to my mum's full-length mirror. Well, what do you think, Janie? Joy asked with the biggest smile I've ever seen on her face. The name change didn't even faze me. I took in the whole scene. I could have passed for a college girl. The short dress and heels made my legs look long and slender. I noticed I was showing skin between the dress and lacy tops of my stockings and grabbed them to pull them up higher. Kristen slapped my hand away. Knock it off, she spat. I don't want you getting a run in your stockings. It's supposed to be like that. Okay, I've learnt my lesson. Can I get this stuff off now? I asked. Take it off? Why would you want to do that? Kristen said. We know you love it, but I don't. I yelled. I hate this. Both girls cracked up laughing at my predicament. Finally, Kristen said, oh, quit pretending. You know you love it, you little swish. Are you a happy girl now? Or should we try on more of Mummy's outfits? I looked at her with rage in my eyes. Well, she asked again. Are you a happy sissy now? I didn't know what else they could do to me and didn't want to find out, so I answered a simple yes. Great to hear, sissy. Since you like your new clothes, why don't you stay in them and go make me something to eat? Replied Joy. I didn't even argue. This was the worst day of my life, and I didn't want it to get worse. I was fully aware of my clothes every time I moved. It felt like the petticoat was bouncing with every step I took, and I struggled in the heels, but they wouldn't let me take them off. It felt like my stockings were always sliding down, and I had to be super careful pulling them back up. I made my sister a sandwich and was heading to her room with the plate when the front door opened, and my dad walked in. Hi, Joy. Why are you dressed like that? He asked. I stood there frozen, not knowing what to do. The awkward silence made him look me in the eyes, and I saw his face go from a smile to confusion. Jake, what are you doing? Why are you dressed like that? Betty, get in here, please. My mum walked in with a smile that quickly fell off her face. What the hell is going on? She asked. Why are you in those clothes? She didn't let me answer before she looked at me from head to toe and said, those are my stockings and my heels. That's my jewelry too, isn't it? That's expensive stuff. What kind of freak are you? My dad wasn't talking at all, which was even worse. He just kept staring at me like he was going to puke. Finally, my mum yelled for Joy to come into the room. "What's going on here?" she asked Joy and Kristen. Both girls looked dumbfounded and Joy said, "Kristen and I have been studying for our physics test in the den all night. We haven't seen Jake at all." "That's a lie." I yelled, but my mum put her hand up and told me to shush. "Get to your room," Mum said. "I'll be up in a minute." I tried to hurry, but the heels didn't allow me to move very fast. I could feel all their eyes on me as I hustled away. I got into my room, and there was a pile of clothes on my bed that wasn't there before. I looked on my dresser, and there were several bras and panties thrown on it. As I was looking at everything with confusion, my mum and dad came in with Joy right behind them. "I see you've been busy tonight," Mum said as she looked at all the clothing items in my room. "I didn't do this. I started before I was cut off." "Just stop it, Jake," Dad said. "You can't tell me your sister somehow forced you into all this stuff." I didn't want to admit to my dad that my sister and her friend basically beat me up, so I just sat there while he and my mum looked through all the clothes. "This isn't just experimenting. You've done this before," Mum said. "These are bra and panty sets, not just random things you'd throw on in a hurry. You took your time and picked out my good, quality items." I wouldn't know the difference between a cheap bra and expensive bra, but I knew better than to argue. My mum walked up to me, grabbed my dress and pulled it up. "I saw you were wearing my petticoat, but you even found the matching panties that went to this dress and couldn't resist them, could you?" I kept trying to push the dress down, but my mum held it up while she had my dad looked at how far I had gone. Well, my dad finally spoke. "One thing is for sure. You're seeing a psychiatrist as soon as we can get you into one." "I agree," Mum replied. "Now get out of those clothes, and I better never catch you like this again." Also, she continued, "You can forget about your bra punishment for the rest of the week. I had no idea you were enjoying it so much." That statement made me go red with embarrassment, and I started peeling the clothes off while Mum and Dad watched me. I'll never forget the looks on their faces as I stood there in nothing but a bra, panties, stockings, and heels, putting her dress back on the hanger like she instructed. The next day after school, Joy was home waiting for me when I got there. "Wasn't last night fun?" she asked me as I walked in the door. "Are you kidding?" I answered. "I can't believe you set me up like that." "Now Mum and Dad think I'm some kind of freak." Joy laughed. "Kristen is diabolical, isn't she? She's the one that came up with putting a bunch of clothes in your room like you were playing dress up all night. She said she used to dress her little brother up in her clothes all the time, but he eventually got too big. She was thrilled to have a little dolly to play with again." "Well, I won't be doing it again," I said with some authority. "Oak, Janie. We'll see," she responded, smiling. I cringed at her name for me and went to my room. For the next couple days, my parents acted like I didn't exist. I got angry looks from my mum and confused looks from my dad, but they weren't speaking to me. One afternoon, I got home from school and noticed both my parents were home early. As soon as I walked in the door, my dad yelled, "Jake, is that you?" I walked into the kitchen, and my parents were sitting at the table with another woman. She was older and had dyed blue short hair. She wore a long, flowery dress with sandals and big, chunky jewellery. "Jake, this is Dr. Porter. She specialises in gender and is here to ask you a few questions," Mum said. "It's so nice to meet you, Jake. Your parents were telling me all about you," Dr. Porter said and stood up. I reached out to shake her hand, but she took a step forward and hugged me instead. She held the hug for a lot longer than I felt was appropriate, then grabbed both my hands and looked me up and down. "Jake, we're going to be spending a lot of time together, so there's no need to be so formal," she said, smiling. She then looked at my parents and asked if there was a place she could interview me in private. "The den is open and nobody will interrupt you in there," my dad answered. "It's the third door on the right." Before I knew what was happening, Dr. Porter grabbed my hand and led me away. We made our way into the den and sat in 2 chairs facing each other. "So, I understand you want to be a girl?" Dr. Porter asked me like it was a perfectly normal question. "No." I almost shouted. It was a misunderstanding. Oh my. "If I had a nickel for every time I heard that," she said while stifling a laugh. "Here's the deal," she continued, but sounded more serious than before. "When I'm done with you, you'll be the feminine swish you've always wanted to be. You'll be more girly than your sister. A year from now, you won't even remember what pants feel like." "But I don't want to be a girl," I exclaimed. "Stop denying it," Dr. Porter said while she pulled her chair over and grabbed my hands. "I interviewed your family before I met you. I heard all about the cute maid dress you put on along with all the accessories. You really went all the way, didn't you?" She didn't wait for an answer before she continued. "Also, your sister and I had a very informative meeting. She told me how you asked to borrow her dresses and underwear, and about that time your parents went out of town, and you asked her if you could sleep in her nighties while they were gone. She's very concerned for you and is excited about helping in any way she can. That's not true. I started, but got cut off again. Just stop, Jake. Or I guess it's Janie now, right? Dr. Porter said. Joy told me that's what you like to be called when you're dressed like a girl, so we might as well start calling you that all the time. Dr. Porter led me into the living room by my hand, and we stood front and centre while the rest of the family stared at us in anticipation. Mr. and Mrs. West. It's my professional opinion that Janie here is a sissy. She will keep her penis, but will look, act, and live like a girl. Tomorrow I will pick her up at 8 am to start her journey. Tonight I would like you to bag up all her boy clothes and get rid of them. Dr. Porter then turned to my sister. Joy, you said you had some clothes that would fit Janie until she gets her own, right? That's right, Joy said excitedly. Great, then have her ready to go tomorrow morning and I'll see you all then. With that, Dr. Porter floated out the door smiling. That night was like a nightmare. My family bagged up all my baseball and hockey stuff. You won't be needing any of this anymore, Mum said as she threw my catcher's mitt in a garbage bag. It only took about a half hour before my closets and drawers were empty. My dad took all the bags and boxes and loaded them in the back of his truck. My mum, sister and I spent the rest of the night taking down my posters and throwing out all the remnants of my boyhood. All I had left was my bed and empty dresser. Well, we might as well finish it off, Mum said and told me to strip. Go get your sister here a pair of panties and nightgown, please, she asked Joy. Joy ran out of the room giggling. My mum watched me strip with disgust on her face and held each piece of clothing as I took it off. Finally, I stepped out of my underwear and she snatched them from my hand. Joy gleefully came back into the room with a pile of pink. I thought this was better than a nightgown, she said, and held up a pair of silky pink pajamas. I reached for the pink panties, desperate to cover myself up. Joy playfully pulled them away twice, then let me get them the third time I tried. I hurried into them. Being in panties was better than being naked. No need to be shy. We're all girls here, my mum said. Mum, please. You have to believe me, I whined. I don't want to dress like a girl. You heard Dr. Porter, Mum said. She's the expert and said you want to be a girl. Stop denying it. I slowly pulled on the silky pajamas. They felt cool against my skin. When I sat on the bed, it felt like I was slipping around on my panty-covered butt. My mum tucked me into bed, which she hadn't done since I was about 7. Sleep tight, sweetie. Tomorrow is a big day for you, she said, as she turned off the light and closed my door. I tossed and turned for a long time, but eventually fell asleep. I had a nightmare of going to school dressed like a girl and everyone making fun of me. The next morning, my sister woke me up by shaking me. I awoke confused about why I was in the girly pajamas, but reality hit me quickly when Joy said, I hung a robe on your door. Come to my bathroom and we'll get you ready. I entered the bathroom and could smell the flowery scent of the bubbly water. My sister made me get naked and get in, then handed me a pink razor. I know you don't have much hair on your body, but I want you to shave your legs and armpits, she said. I did what I was told, went slowly and managed to not cut myself. The bath actually felt good, and I soaked for a while, almost falling asleep before Joy busted in the door and said, Is my little sister all smooth and ready to get dressed? Put on your robe and come to my room, Joy. Please tell Mum the truth, I begged. This is my last chance to get out of this before they do something drastic. Oh, I know, she responded. All these years of you being a little brat and picking on me are over. You're going to be my demure, well-behaved little sister from now on. I couldn't be happier. I knew I was screwed. I put on the pink robe and entered her room reluctantly. She started by painting my toenails and fingernails pink. She told me to spread my fingers out and hold them in front of me and sit still. Then she started plucking my eyebrows into thin arches. You didn't have bushy eyebrows to start with, but this will really feminize your face, she explained. When she finished, she told me my nails should be dry and it was time to get dressed. It's a little cool today, so we'll do a classic fall look, she said. With that, she went to her closet and came out with a turtleneck sweater and a plaid skirt. The sweater was navy blue and looked really small. The skirt was blue, green and white. I had seen her wear it a few times and knew it was pretty short. Put on your bra and panties while I find you some tights, she demanded. I picked up the white nylon panties with a lace waistband and pulled them on. Then I put on the bra and waited for her. Joy turned around with a pair of white tights. These should fit you, she said. Sit on the bed and I'll help you put them on. Joy explained what she was doing when she rolled them up and then slid them up my smooth legs. She put one leg halfway on, then the other, and pulled them up over my panties high on my waist. After my tights were secure, she had me step into her skirt, pulled it up, then zipped and buttoned it in the back. She then said, arms up, and pulled the soft sweater over my head. That sweater is Angora, so make sure you don't spill anything on it, she explained. The sweater hugged every inch of my upper body, and you could tell I was wearing a bra under it. The skirt was short and landed about 4 inches above my knees. I love that skirt, but Mum won't let me wear it anymore because it's too short on me. I'm so glad I can pass it in to you and didn't have to throw it out, she said with a smile. Joy went back into her closet and came out with a pair of navy blue Mary Jane shoes with a 2-inch heel. I knew what I had to do and stepped into them. She strapped them on my feet and said, "Oh wow, they're a perfect fit. You already look like a girl with your thin eyebrows and cute outfit. It won't take much makeup to make you really pretty," she said. Joy had me sit at her vanity and went to work on my face. She told me our complexion was almost identical, so I could buy the same shade of foundation as her when I went shopping. After she covered me with liquid foundation and powder, Joy lined my eyes, used a light blue eyeshadow on me, and covered my lashes with several strokes of mascara. Then she added blush and a cherry red lipstick. "One more thing, and I'll let you see yourself, Janie," she said, smiling, and pulled out a box of hair accessories. She curled my hair with a curling iron, then added a blue, green and white plaid headband that matched the skirt. She deemed me ready and pulled me over to her full-length mirror. I stood there for a few seconds before my mind realised the beautiful girl in the mirror was me. There's no way anyone would think I was a boy. The doorbell snapped me out of my trance, and Joy said, "That must be Dr. Porter. Wait up here and I'll announce you. Then come into the room." I did what I was told, and when I heard Joy call my new name, I walked into the living room where Mum, Dad and Dr. Porter were waiting. Everyone was shocked at how I looked. Mum and Dr. Porter fawned all over me, while Dad stood in the background and looked like he was going to throw up. "You look great, Janie," Dr. Porter said. "We're going to have a fabulous day." With that, she took my hand and led me to her brown Subaru. I was scared to death and tried to squat down in the seat in case I saw someone I knew, but Dr. Porter wasn't having it. "Sit up straight, sweetie. Slightly arch your back and stick your little boobies out while you're sitting. That's how a lady sits," she told me. I was happy to see instead of the local mall in Peoria, she was taking me to Bloomington, which was about a half-hour away. She chatted the entire time, even though I didn't say much. She asked me about my favourite clothing brands, type of music I like, and what actors I thought were cute. I wasn't very good company because I didn't have much of an opinion on any of it, especially the cute actors. Yuck. When we got out of the car, Dr. Porter started tutoring me on how to move like a girl. "Sway those hips, 1 foot in front of the other. That's it, sweetie." Oh my, you were meant to be a girl. It felt like we stopped in 100 stores. I tried on so many skirts, dresses, blouses and sweaters I lost track of which ones we bought. The whole time I had to act like I enjoyed it, while being as feminine as possible. Eventually, we took a break for lunch. I was allowed a salad and bottle of water instead of my usual cheeseburger and fries. "A young lady needs to watch her figure," Dr. Porter explained after she ordered it for me. As we sat in the food court, I was instructed to cross my legs so nobody could see my panties, take small bites and hold my fork in a feminine fashion between bites. It was terrible sitting there in the open. A younger boy 2 tables over kept looking at me. When I looked back, he smiled. "Looks like you have an admirer," Dr. Porter said, smiling. "Before I take you back home, I have one more special surprise for you. It'll be my treat," she said as we threw out our trash. Dr. Porter walked me into a brightly lit shop full of Asian ladies and said I have an appointment for my niece, Janie. She'd like glamour-length nails. "Fire engine red, please." As I sat at the desk, I was now in a state of awe. I watched each of my fingers got transformed into a grown woman's fingers. The way these were put on, I knew even if I wore boy clothes, they were staying and would stand out. It took about an hour. When we finished, I walked through the mall staring at my hands. I couldn't believe they were mine. "Liking our new pretty nails, are we?" Dr. Porter asked. "Dr. Porter, please understand," I begged. "This isn't what I want. All of this was set up by my sister." "I don't really care what the reasoning is," she replied. "I love turning boys into girls. Your parents think you want it, and that's all I need to make you the swishiest fairy in town." We got back in the car and went home. She didn't chat as much this time, so I just sat in my seat, contemplating my future. When I walked in the door, everyone was there waiting. I felt like all eyes went straight to my nails. Mum and Joy sprang up and held my hands, admiring how girly the new nails made them. "That's a little much for a girl your age, but I don't want to waste Dr. Porter's money, so I guess they'll stay. They'll probably help you move your hands in a more feminine manner anyway," Mum said. Dad brought all the bags in and took them up to my room. It seemed like there were 1,000. I had to put everything away in the empty drawers. Mum and Joy put up posters of a ballerina and a couple boy bands while I was gone. After seeing my room, I had finally given up and realised there was no way out of this. I'd be in dresses, hose, and heels for the foreseeable future. As the days went on, I had to report Dr. Porter every week for deportment lessons and hormone shots. I was eventually signed up for ballet and yoga classes to make me more graceful. School was a total nightmare. Joy picked my coming out outfit for me, and it was as bad as I thought it would be. It consisted of a tight red-ribbed sweater that matched my nails, a super short A-line miniskirt, black opaque pantyhose, and matching red high heels. My hair was curled with a red headband, and my makeup made me look like I was in my 20s. For jewellery, I wore large red hoop earrings and a red and black beaded necklace. Even my bra and panty set were matching red with black polka dots. As I clicked up and down the halls, I was fully aware of everything I had on that day. I swished into the office with a new student card because my mum wanted my name changed to Janie on all my records. When it was time to apply for college, I'd have to apply as a girl. This is my life now. I'm Janie,